Good evening, colleagues representatives from the government, representatives from museums, and cultural colleagues. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. I really appreciate the words that have been said thus far. Really lovely ideas about cooperation and this incredible review of the history of our cooperation with this museum. That was information I did not know, and it's really a pleasure to learn that, so thank you. I want to thank the Ministry of Culture of the Republic of Serbia and the Serbian American Friendship Congress for great cooperation on this event and in general. That great collaboration and all of the content of this session today are a testament to the long, unbreakable cultural relationship between our countries. When we talk about culture, oftentimes we are talking about the arts, or in America we say culture with a big C, a capital C. I think of this kind of culture as the outward expression, whether visual or theatrical or musical, of the heart and soul of a society. Connections through the arts are a beautiful and powerful way to build relationships and bridge divides all across the world. But there is more to culture than the arts. Culture with a small c encompasses our traditions, beliefs, languages, and all of our behaviors, our actual heart and soul, the heart and soul of a people. It's difficult to quantify, but I've lived all over the world, and I can say that ever since I've been here in Serbia, I have felt a familiarity with the Serbian people that helps me to understand our long friendship. We like many of the same things. We compete in the same sports. We appreciate a person who is straightforward. We love a good party, a good festival, and a good joke. And yes, I think we share a passion for the arts. This great institution is a demonstration of the artistic heart of Serbians, and so too are the many other museums, galleries, theaters, and musical venues all across Serbia. I've only scratched the surface, but I know that there's a deep well of sophisticated art and artists in this country. It's an honor to have Andy Warhol highlighted here today, an American iconoclast and a true original. He's a perfect example of a deeply loved American artist whose work seems to fit like a hand in a glove among the great contemporary Serbian artists in this museum. As the cultural attache at the U.S. Embassy, it is my job to call attention to the many cultural connections we share and to build on those to strengthen the relationship between our countries. Yes, it's a great job. Don't tell the ambassador, but it's the best job in the embassy. We do this, we make these connections through events like this, where we can share our culture with a capital C. And we do a lot of connecting both of our cultures with a small c as well. Maybe one of the best examples is the long-running Fulbright program. We bring students and scholars from the United States to teach here in your universities and send Serbian scholars and students to do the same in American universities. Named after American Senator William Fulbright, it was his vision to include culture with a small c in our diplomatic efforts over 75 years ago. He did not envision that this would solve any global crises in the short term, but rather it has been a long-term effort to build relationships based on mutual interests in science, education, literature, art, law, on and on. He believed that those relationships would contribute to global trust and peace. We run many other exchanges based on that model, too many really to enumerate here. But through this long history of connecting Americans with Serbians and people from all over the world, we have learned that in-person, direct interaction across borders is what reminds us all that we have more in common than not. I know Americans who come here on our programs find the warm heart and soul of Serbia, and many find a way to come back over and over again, or stay indefinitely. These kinds of connections through culture can lead to real meaningful outcomes that we all benefit from. A project that comes to mind is our Ambassadors Fund for Cultural Preservation, which donates funds to reconstruct or preserve cultural sites, objects, and even forms of intangible cultural expression. This is a way for the United States to contribute to the preservation of cultural heritage that is priceless to Serbia and to the rest of the world. We have contributed to 12 projects across Serbia since the fund was established in 2001. This year, we are proud to be giving our biggest grant ever in Serbia to the Vinča site at Belgrade, a 25-acre archaeological site housing the remains of what is probably Europe's oldest Neolithic civilization, which flourished along the banks of the Danube from 6200 to 4500 BCE. Working with the Ministry of Culture to formulate a proposal to save the site, this is an example of how we are at our best when we work together on solving problems. So, culture is all-encompassing, from prehistoric remains of a Neolithic site to Andy Warhol. There are endless ways that Americans and Serbians have found and continue to find common interests, passions, and friendship. It's a natural partnership that has officially been in place for 140 years. It has withstood challenges, and I believe will only strengthen with time. I want to thank the Ministry of Culture. I don't know if I see the minister here, but I want to thank the Ministry of Culture and our friends at the Serbian-American Friendship Congress. I look forward to the discussion this evening very much. Thank you.